everybody. It's David and Nikki Nellis for Foodie and the Beast.
We have such a fun show for you today. It's getting strange in studio. Alex Strange is in, and he is shaking up crazy cocktails. And it's going to be a little sweet. Tiff McIsaac is in, and she brought pies.
Nice play on strange. We also have the chefs from Cafe DuPont in, and Enzo Fargione, the great Italian chef, is opening up a great Italian restaurant.
That's Foodie and the Beast. Stay tuned.
Planet Wine. It's like having your own wine cellar right in the heart of Del Rey. More than 700 bottles of domestic and imported wines offer something for every occasion and budget. For fine wines and more, there's a whole planet. Planet Wine in Del Rey. So, Alex, why don't we start with you?
Well, actually, we've been going to Frederick a lot because we're getting a new puppy.
You guys have been in a lot.
Yes, but I was in with actually Amanda McClements, David Hagedorn, and Amber Fow just last week for a little birthday Frederick crawl. We went through a ton of restaurants in a very short period of time, but we did start out with you at SHAB, and you gave us such an incredible cocktail demonstration that I had to have you in ASAP. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you wound up mixing mad cocktails.
Don't leave out the good parts.
Yeah, put it all in there.
He was born in a log cabin.
Right. Okay. How about letting him talk? Go ahead.
Started out, I did musical theater when I was a kid, and then grew up and.
Okay, let's not be shy. Let's not be shy. Where did we do musical theater?
We did musical theater in New York on Broadway. Did Gavroche in Les Miserables. Do
you want to sing a note or two?
Itty Bitty Leah Michelle. Okay. Maybe we'll see if you're lucky.
Okay, later in the show. We'll get you liquored up and then we'll hear you sing.
Exactly.
Love it.
And then did Les Mis for about 2.5 years, and then went back to California, where we're all from, and opened the U.S. production of Ragtime, and then was scouted from there to go and open the original Broadway cast of Ragtime.
How much fun. Okay, so how did you take your acting career and evolve into a bar chef?
It was actually an easy transition. I mean, moved back to
another
New York.
Form of theater, so to speak.
Yeah, you started drinking in the theater, and then
well, we'll get into that later. Yeah, basically moved back to New York to continue to pursue theater, and realized, of course, you have to work really hard to live in New York. And like every other starving artist, I guess, fell into bartending, and it presented an awesome opportunity because I worked with really influential, really top-tier bartenders. And it was kind of like trading one stage for another. You were still able to be completely creative and have a blast, but you're also able to be personable, and you deal with people on a regular basis. So it's a blast.
Well, it sounds like a lot of fun. Okay, more importantly,
yes,
what are you making for us?
Down to brass tacks here. The first drink I'm going to start out with you guys is something really light. It's called the Hollywood Party Planner. Light in alcohol, really great summer patio drink.
All right, well, we're going to let you finish making that cocktail. We're going to roll into Tiffany McIsaac.
Yeah, we should say what Tiffany was up to last night.
Oh, absolutely. Kick it off.
Well, first of all, Tiffany is the executive pastry chef for Neighborhood Restaurant Group at Buzz Bakery and Birch and Barley and Rustico and all their restaurants. And she makes stuff that you wouldn't believe. And last night we were at the Acadia event out in called the Vices of Virginia event out in what the heck's the name of the plantation?
Oh, Woodlawn.
Woodlawn Plantation, which was George Washington's nephew.
Well, tell us a little bit about the event. I mean, we were there, but tell us how NRG got into this.
Well, Arcadia is our nonprofit farm, and that was originally founded by the owner of NRG, Michael Babin. And so, it was just a chance for us to all pitch in and help Arcadia raise some money for a lot of really great projects they've got coming up in the next year, like the mobile market, which you guys saw, the bus that takes, farm fresh food into underserved neighborhoods.
That bus.
It's
incredible.
Amazing. It looks like something out of a Scooby-Doo cartoon or something. Lime green bus covered in vegetables.
Right,
yeah, exactly. So we had the fundraiser, and it was a blast. Some of the vices that made Virginia are whiskey and cigars, which I had too much of both. So I'm glad I made it.
Well, we have to say they had a guy there rolling cigars, and it was an unbelievable. I had a fresh killed cigar that was delicious.
Well, and Catoctin Creek was there, and you had all those great Virginia wineries.
What's funny was I originally met him on your show here.
I was going to say, he's been in studio. I love when networking happens.
Yes, you brought us together.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, they're doing great stuff too. I mean, they're.
Oh yeah, it was amazing. I mean, thank God we had the daylight savings extra hour.
I am going to stop this chit chat and let's get to pies, baby, because what I'm looking at in front of us, I'm going to hold these up for the camera.
Okay.
But, we had some of these last night. I had to fight. When the pies came out to the pie table.
We were talking about that off air. I mean, talk about what happened when desserts.
Pie frenzy.
It was a pie frenzy. It was insane.
No, wait. This is a pecan pie with chocolate. What's going on here?
It's got the bottom layer of the pecan pie is chocolate. There's bourbon in the batter, and then there's chocolate whipped cream on top of it.
And what's the other one?
The other one is just classic gala apple double crust pie.
Yeah, but it's not classic because the way you did the crust is really different. It looks like cookies.
Well, I don't like soggy pie crust, so we actually bake the bottom shelf first and then fill it and then
top it.
Bake the second one on top.
Yeah. I love that. All right, we have to take a quick break while my husband eats an entire pie.
You betcha.
This is David and Nikki Nellis with Foodie The Beast. We are talking pie with Tiffany MacIsaac from Neighborhood Restaurant Group, and we are sipping on a fabulous little cocktail to kick off the morning from Alex Strange. When we get back, we'll be talking Italian food. We'll be back in just a sec.
There's no better way.
The phrase neighborhood restaurant means convenience, but not necessarily style or good taste. But in DC's West End, Circle Bistro, Notte Bianche, and Dish Plus Drinks take neighborhood dining to new levels. Circle Bistro offers contemporary French-inspired cuisine. Dish has new twists on American classics. And Notte Bianche is the perfect Italian trattoria. The Kennedy Center is just steps away, so pre- and post-theater dining is enjoyable and convenient. Dish, Notte Bianche, and Circle Bistro. There's good taste in the neighborhood. Hey, we're back on Foodie and the Beast with David and Nikki Nellis and Tiffany MacIsaac from Neighborhood Restaurant Group.
I'm having a sugar high.
I know.
My head is starting to buzz. I just dug into the pecan pie. My head is totally buzzing.
Can I ask you a question you're not prepared for, I'm sure? But,
oh, no.
What about a cookbook? I mean, you do stuff that I've never seen before. So
I have a lot on my plate right now between all of the restaurants.
How many restaurants are you working with?
It's about 7 restaurants and 2 bakeries, so that's a lot of chefs to corral. To corral. So
well, speaking of that, tell us what you're making for these chefs and how you're working with everybody. I mean, Tony Chittum at Vermilion, your husband, obviously Kyle at Birch and Barley. Tallulah, how are the desserts all differing, and what are some of your favorites that you're serving?
It's been so interesting working with so many different chefs because my relationship and how we develop the menu with each of them is so different. I mean, some of the chefs just call me and say, hey, I want some new desserts. And some chefs really want to say, hey, I've got this product I want to use. I mean, it's really tailored to each restaurant, and it's been really fascinating getting to work with all of these chefs at the same time.
Well, that must be fun too.
It is really fun. I mean, they're all really great people, so I'm very fortunate.
Right.
I don't have any crazy chefs in the mix, so I'm lucky.
Well, I'm
a very lucky pastry chef.
Except for the one you're married to.
Except for the one I'm married to. But that's
so, what are your top 3 favorite desserts that you're serving right now, and where?
Well, at Birch and Barley, we're doing the peanut butter and jelly cheesecake, and that is always one of my favorites because I love Concord grape. So, actually, the season just ended a couple weeks ago, and before it ended, I bought 4 giant cases of it and made them cook it down and juice it and freeze it so I could extend the season a little bit on that. At Vermilion, they're doing an apple beignet, so it's a roasted Honeycrisp apple that they're battering in a beer batter and frying, and that one's
so you just develop the concept and then they execute it there? on that one?
It's a mix of things.
Okay.
I think that some of the more difficult components we do at Birch and Barley and send to them every day. All the ice creams are made at Birch and Barley. And then, I go to each of the restaurants, train them on how to make the desserts and leave the recipes behind.
How do you do all that? And I mean, I've been to Birch and Barley. The kitchen is decent size.
It is.
But it's
not a decent size. That is a tiny kitchen.
Michael Babin, make a bigger kitchen. Note to Michael Babin.
My motto is always, we just have to make it, so you just have to find room.
That is a good motto.
And they always do.
Right.
Words to live by. That's how I treat food. Just have to eat it. So
right. You just have to power through.
Find the room.
Take one more bite. Tiffany, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I know you had a crazy night last night. The pies are fabulous. So just tell everybody where they can buy those pies and how long you'll be doing them for.
Yes, it's 72 hours notice on purchase, but we'll also have some in both shops on the day before Thanksgiving. Pickup is Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday before Thanksgiving at both Buzz. And you can also place an order to be picked up at Birch and Barley in D.C. on Monday and Wednesday.
Okay, great. Thanks so much.
Is this an ongoing program? After Thanksgiving, will you do pie?
Yeah, we always have pies.
Okay.
It's definitely a huge part of what we do there, and we do it a la mode. When you come into the store, you can purchase whole ones to take away. But you know, as far as the pie bar and stuff, this is something that I'm really just doing for Thanksgiving because it's such a fun festive time.
It's such a good idea. Yeah. I just sort of can envision it at my dining room table, you know, setting it up after everybody's sort of gorged themselves on savory. What a nice way to, you know, finish it off with
dessert. And when you come into Buzz, we actually have some tips on how to put together your own, how to, you know, pull things from all around your house that, you know, can put together something really extravagant that, you know, really costs you nothing to do.
I love that. All right, good. All right, Tiff, thank you so much.
We are going to turn to Enzo Fargione, whom we met at Teatro Goldoni about, what, 3 years ago?
Just about.
And we had a crazy meal, a meal it was delicious. It was unbelievable.
Well, it was his chef tasting menu, right?
Well, it was
correct.
Nuts. And now you're going to open a new restaurant in Penn Quarter.
Well, I decided to complicate my life again. So
you want to make life difficult?
Even more difficult.
So when you left Teatro, you had decided initially to sort of take that concept of your chef's tasting menu and open up a restaurant in that style. Is that correct?
Pretty much. There was a long time coming, you know, because after a while that you off, you know, you don't cook, I guess, you know. For me, it's just about a week. You know, you start to itch, you know, and you get to scratch that feeling that you have. You want to make sure that you want to go back and cook again. And, you know, basically if I wake up one morning, I don't have a restaurant, I have to worry about it. No, I'm going crazy. So I've been going crazy for about, you know, a year and a half with a physical restaurant.
So you must be really crazy.
But
Well, so tell us about your new concept, Elixir?
Elixir means elixir in English, which is a combination of beautiful and yummy things and creating one exceptional one.
But Elixir is not Italian, is it?
Elixir, yeah, sure. Elixir
says it is.
There's no vowel at the end.
I don't know your opera Italian.
Well, it depends how much you drink.
Shut up, Andy.
Right, we have an Italian here, and we have somebody else who's been to Italy. Two say yes.
Okay.
So you don't know.
Debbie, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay. God bless you,
well,
my
somebody
son.
should say that to him every now and then. My God. All right, going on. So please.
So Elixir is pretty much a concept. It's a continuous search for taste, presentation, combination of flavors, and it's very, very much a personal interpretation of modern Italian cooking. It's almost like your relationship that you have, you know, with your own God. If you're religious or not, it's very personal. This is the same thing. It's very, very personal. So most of the time, I create food that necessarily really fit the rule, but is I take something I destroy, combine with something completely different and new, and create something that actually is mine. So,
well, let me ask,
what are we eating?
We're eating reverse delicious spaghetti carbonara appetizers. I don't know what you call this. What is it? These are unbelievable.
But again, this kind of pretty much reflects the concept, the concept of Elixir, which is a modern way of cooking, but a very personalized one. So, you know, you do, for instance, a spaghetti carbonara is be done over and over and over, which is a great, delicious dish. But if you create a appetite openers or amuse-bouche, so that's what I decided to do, which we do a reverse spaghetti carbonara. You do the sauce for the spaghetti carbonara.
Pasta like that.
Well, imagine a bamboo mat for like sushi mat.
Oh, okay.
So just out of spaghetti, cooked spaghetti, and then you pipe in the carbonara sauce, solidifies, then you put the dill flour, and then...
what is the deer flour?
Dill, well, it's just the flour, the dill, fresh dill, and there's the flour. Dill. It's my accent.
I was going to say. Parliamo in inglese, va bene.
Yeah, it's out of my accent or whatever you guys drink in between Sugar Rush and...
Yeah, you're drinking it too. Don't just call us out.
This is so good.
It really is. That is such an interesting concept, and it's delicious. Why don't you let the other chefs try it too?
I'm gonna.
It's really, really lovely. Well, let's talk about the bar quickly because we don't have a lot of time left. The mixology program, I mean, I think when people think of your cuisine, especially from Teatro, they think wine. Right? I mean, you know, you just think wine pairing. So are you putting together a huge wine program? Are you focusing, it has that change, you know, with the rise of mixologists and the beer programs everywhere, does that change the kinds of things?
You ask long questions too.
Does that change the kinds of things you serve? Yeah, but my questions are interesting. Does that change the kinds of things you serve?
It doesn't necessarily change it. It makes it a little bit more interesting, I would say. And I'll explain you why. Because, for instance, we have our own aging barrels. We're going to do our own bourbon, and we have our own carbonated bottling kit, and we're going to do our own mix, for instance, Negroni and so on, and then we're going to kind of bottle, put a label on it.
Italians are big cocktail drinkers too.
Well,
It just depends on the cocktail.
It depends how much you eat. Yes.
Oh, what you don't eat.
If you can finish your wine, you move on to the cocktails. Right?
Chef, can you tell us when you're going to be opening?
We should be open in a couple of weeks.
Weeks?
Just before Thanksgiving.
Right.
Okay, and where? Where are you?
Well, yeah, give us the address and the web address.
427 11th Street.
Okay.
Northwest, right between East Street and Pennsylvania Avenue.
That's great.
Okay,
What a
excellent. We
location.
cannot wait.
Awesome.
We're really excited for you.
It'll be great to see you guys in whenever we open. And I'm sure I will.
We've got in the studio now Executive Chef SILVAN KRAMER and Executive Sous Chef David FRITSCHE. Did I do it right?
You did.
Give me 5, baby. All right.
And they brought in lots of plates.
From the DuPont Grill, they brought in a bunch of stuff. I know the DuPont Grill from a million years ago because when it opened, I have a marketing agency. We came in and did the website and the film, and I knew Russell Cunningham, who was the chef that opened it up. And it was always it's in a great location. It's really right there on the circle, and you guys have a beautiful that open window area out onto the circle. So tell us what you're doing there.
We actually reopened it like 1.5 years ago. The hotel, it's based in the DuPont Circle Hotel, got through a lot of renovations, and we reopened 1.5 years ago as a modern French brasserie. The name actually changed to Café DuPont at that time as well. We do modern brasserie food. It's very French driven what we do, but we present it in a more modern way. And have some regional and seasonal influences in all our dishes.
Well, Chef KRAMER, why don't you tell us a little bit about you, where you're from, and how you wound up at the restaurant?
I am originally from Switzerland. I started cooking when I was 15 years old back home. I made apprenticeship like it's traditional in Europe. For 3 years I worked in a restaurant. I worked a lot of different restaurants in Switzerland. Moved on to the hotels then. I worked in Dubai for 3 years. I worked in Ireland for a while. Then came to the US. I was at the Essex House in New York for 3 years. And then 2 years ago came to DC as the executive chef for DuPont Circle Hotel. And reopening Café DuPont with the new restaurant concept.
So as you were putting together this new concept, what were some of the things you were really looking to put on the menu?
We basically first had a look in the area and the neighborhood and had a look what is needed in DuPont Circle area. We want to be a neighborhood restaurant and not like a hotel restaurant. We really want to cater and be there for the neighborhood. That's why also our price point and everything, it's more of a single standing restaurant than a hotel restaurant. Right. And it's really seasonal products we use. We change our menu 4 times a week, 4 times a year. And
why don't you tell us what we're looking at here? Because this is beautiful. Is that potato?
Looks like sweet potato.
No, there we have sweet potato gratin.
Oh, sweet potato.
And then topped with braised pork belly, Berkshire pork belly. A
braised
little bit
pork belly,
parsnip
no!
puree, and finish off with a little bit of crème de cassis.
That's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
And is that a regular feature right now on the menu?
We just put it on the menu 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago?
Yeah,
so you just launched your fall menu.
Wait, let's jump in real quick. Chef David, where are you from? What's your background?
I'm from Switzerland, doing pretty much the same as
Are there any chefs left in Switzerland now?
No good ones.
There's a little Governor Schwarzenegger in your voice.
I hear that before.
Let me say I'll be back.
I'll be back.
There it is. Not bad.
Well, actually, on that note,
we'll be back too.
We're going to be back too. This is David and Nikki Nellis with Foodie The Beast. I can't do you want to say we'll be right back? We'll be back.
We'll be back.
Excellent. I love it. We'll be back in just a sec.
Planet Wine in Del Rey is more than just 700 great wines. There's also a stellar selection of craft beers picked by Greg Engert, one of Food and Wine's favorite. We are back on Foodie and the Beast with David and Nikki Nellis. Before we get back to our guests, I just want to thank the sponsors that make this show possible. Our good friends at Georgetown Bagelry, without whom I would have a 32-inch waist. Neighborhood Restaurant Group, Rustico, Evening Star, Tallulah, Buzz Bakery, Birch and Barley.
You can't blame the bagels, I have to be honest. It's not just the bagels.
Oh, my God, you are so mean.
I know.
You get a spanking later.
Oh, fucking me.
All right. Our friends down at Founding Farmers, the folks from Modus Hotels and their restaurants, Notte Bianchi, Dish, Circle Bistro, Charles Schwartz & Son Fine Jewelers. Bethesda Central Farm Market, now open year-round, everybody, every Sunday.
Every Sunday after the show, must go to Bethesda Central Farm Market.
And a new sponsor coming on board, Carmine's. Hubba hubba.
We have big news on them later on.
All right, so let's go back to SILVAN and Chef SILVAN and Chef David.
I'm so sorry. I really can't say anything because my hands and my mouth are full with pork
I'm about
belly.
to eat. But while we're eating, will you tell everybody, I want to make sure everybody knows where exactly the restaurant is, where you are on the web, and let's talk a little Thanksgiving, too. And I'll eat.
Okay.
All right, Café DuPont. We're located right on DuPont Circle in the DuPont Circle Hotel on 1500 New Hampshire Avenue.
Terrible location.
Terrible location.
Terrible.
Bar DuPont is part of us as well, which is just a big glass windows overlooking DuPont Circle. We open for brunch Saturday and Sunday as well from 7 to 2:30. And 2 weeks, Thanksgiving is coming up. We open for lunch in the cafe as well. We normally closed. We open up by 11:30.
Okay.
And we do a family style and Thanksgiving lunch and dinner. It goes throughout the entire afternoon. So we open there, and we do traditional turkey along the limited a la carte. And we also promote turkey dinner for the neighborhood to go. So people can pre-order their turkeys if they don't feel like cooking at home or they don't have the space available. We're gonna make turkeys with all the trimmings for them, which they can pick up on Thanksgiving.
So, lastly, chefs, just tell everybody where they can find you. Let's give the address, the website, the whole deal, please.
All right, it's Café DuPont in the DuPont Circle Hotel at 1500 New Hampshire Avenue.
Great.
You find us on the www.doylecollection.com or we on Facebook under Café DuPont and Bar DuPont on Facebook as well.
And I just want to let people know that you have a gorgeous patio that is terrific to sit at. It's open still,
It's right on the
It's still
circle.
open. We have heaters out, so even when it's chilly, we have blankets and
you can sit and kibitz all the
People
chess
watch.
games on the circle and people watch. It's
Great
a
people watching.
It's a great spot for people watching.
Absolutely.
And like beautiful days like today, it's
Perfect.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thanks for bringing in all this delicious
Yes,
food.
you can take the plates back, but the food stays.
Okay.
Alex, let's go back to you. I'm
What did
whimsical,
you-
I'm happy, I'm sad.
What
I'm,
did you make
Whimsical,
here?
happy, and sad.
I've
Well,
experienced a full range of emotions waiting for this drink.
I'm doing
Yum.
doing a variation of a frozen and/or hot chocolate. It's also combined with a coffee from a company called Dublin Roasters out of Frederick that's local as well.
I went there.
they
I
do
went to
a-
Dublin Roasters. No, you haven't been there. I was there.
They
don't
do
we-
a,
we
No,
had-
there's no we. Just me.
No, wait.
Oh my God.
I was there when I was out visiting Alex.
No, wait, never mind.
Okay.
Right? I don't know you.
Okay, good.
They do a signature coffee blend for us, so I incorporated that
Oh my
into
God,
the
it's
main
yummy.
mix for the hot chocolate, which is tempered Belgian dark chocolate pellets, some heavy cream with Dublin Roasters Chabro Bistro blend coffee,
Yum.
as well as a little bit of orgeat syrup, which is an almond extract
My
syrup.
God, it beats the Frappuccino by a
So-
mile and a half here.
Good
All right, we're
idea.
going to have to wrap, but I want to make sure everybody knows where Chabro
Are you making
is.
anything else, or are we all done? We're done.
We're doing shots now.
We're
Wait,
out.
and I just want to say this because I've lived here all my life. Frederick was always like, who wants to go to Frederick? Frederick is awesome.
Yeah, we love it.
It's a blast.
If
We're
you've been
going
to
out there in just a little bit.
If you've been to Manayunk outside of Philly, or you've been to Old Town Alexandria, I mean, it's great. Little shops, little restaurants, great places to
But
go.
tell them where Chabro is, because I'm
It's
so
down the
used
canal,
to.
right?
Chabro is down Carroll Creek. It's on East Street.
So what's the main drag?
The main drag is
is
Market Street.
Right.
If
South
you
Market,
go
right?
down one block, you'll hit East Street, and
Right.
Chabro is much more of an eclectic kind of independent shops. A limited number of restaurants, but we're down there.
right.
And we are right on East Street, 221B, in between 2nd and 3rd Street on East.
And you guys have parking.
Yes, we
Parking
do.
there.
We
All right, well,
do.
we want to thank our guests. Do you want to do that?
Yes, I do.
All right,
Thank
well,
you.
have at
Tiffany
it.
McIsaac, great pies, unbelievable. Alex Strange, great drinks. Enzo Fargione, great Italian food. That reverse carbonara has got to be had. And SILVAN KRAMER and David FRITSCHE from Café DuPont. Guys, thanks for coming in. You noticed that the food was so terrible, I ate all of
Right,
it.
he ate it all. My
next
God.
week,
I
we've
don't know.
got
I don't have my script.
Amanda McClements is sitting in for me because I won't be around. Jeff Tunks is in from Passion Food Group. Melissa Clark, who's a cookbook author. She's written 32-something cookbooks.
Right. Cook This Now,
She's
her
got
new
a new
book.
one called Cook This Now. Adam Sobel and Brent Balika from
Bourbon steak.
Bourbon Steak. And the Acqua al Due has a great Italian beer program, and they're in here too.
So absolutely listen to that next week. Thanks so much for joining us, and everybody have a delicious week.